What's up, guys? It's Monday, August 15th. You like I had to look to see what the date was today, and I have a calendar behind me? That's pretty cool. We're off to a great start. My name is Pat Whalen. I host a late-night talk show here in Chicago called Good Evening with Pat Whalen. We are Chicago's only late-night talk show news alternative. The way I describe it to people is that we are like The Tonight Show, but funny. That's what... Stop. No. Come on. I'm just kidding. Hey, Jimmy. When we talk about politics in Chicago and Illinois, and the reason I can talk about this to you is because I admit ignorance. I have no idea what any of this stuff is, and so join me on this journey of learning. This is the first episode in a video that I am making every day called Yesterday's News. Now, as you can probably tell from the title, it is not rocket science. I'm going to talk about today what happened yesterday so that I have a day to catch up. Make sure we're all on the same page here. Not a journalist. I am not a journalist. I don't have a press pass in my fedora. I don't have, a pencil behind my ear or a typewriter. None of that. So basically, I'm just a guy who's learning about politics as we go, and that's what this video is all about. So you can check us out every day. It's called Yesterday's News. So let's begin. Since today is a Monday, and yesterday would have been the weekend, I can't really talk about the weekend because mostly politics happen on weekdays. Now, over the weekend, something did happen. I guess Donald Trump's campaign manager works for the KGB. I don't really know what's going on there because I'm trying to focus on Illinois and Chicago at large. Let's do that. Jumping into our first story of the first episode. Are you ready for this? This is an article from the Chicago Tribune. It came out actually today, so that's interesting. I don't usually do stuff like that because I've never done this before. Rauner ally Matt Murphy resigns from Illinois Senate. So what's going on here? Basically, Senator Matt Murphy posted a resignation letter on his Facebook page Friday confirming that he will step down from the Senate. First of all, former Senator Matt Murphy, I don't know you personally, I don't want to criticize you, but don't update your status with this. Come on, make a video, a meme, some Facebook Live, and it's 2016, man. You've got to get the message to the millennials. You won't do that with just typing words. That is so 2014, 2010. Senator Matt Murphy is a Republican, right? A Northwest suburban state senator who provided a strong voice for the Republican agenda in the Democratic-controlled legislature. So Governor Bruce Rauner doesn't have a ton of Republicans in the state legislature. He needs all the Republican friends he can get, and he just lost another one. I say another one because Murphy's resignation comes a few weeks after Rauner lost his Illinois House floor leader, Representative Ron Sandak of Downers Grove, abruptly resigned after taking down his social media accounts and saying several fraudulent ones were set up in his name. I wonder if it was like a Tinder or Flickr. I don't think Flickr means what I think it means. But this is a big deal. Again, to recap, one of the Republicans in the state legislature has left the state legislature. Governor Rauner is without a Republican to back him up on his agenda that he has a hard time selling to a lot of Democrats because of the whole two-party system thing. You know. Something that blew my mind is that former Senator Matt Murphy is leaving the legislature to go work as a lobbyist. He's probably going to make more money than he did as a legislature as a lobbyist, so we hope we can sponsor the show here. Hey, give me a call, Matt. But I'm wondering if this has anything to do with this other article that I found, posted by DNAinfo, which is a great source of local news. Illinois budget is so screwed up, state rep drives Uber to pay bills. He's been driving Uber for under the radar for almost 2 months. The representative, whose district includes a portion of the Northwest Side, said he needs the cash to support his family as the state budget mess drags out and regular paychecks to legislatures have been sporadic at best. Basically, Governor Bruce Rauner, he had this agenda, and the Democrats gave him a budget, and they said, hey, pass this budget so we can fund literally everything. Governor Rauner was like, nah. Since we couldn't pass a budget, things got so bad for funding things throughout the state that legislators actually haven't been being paid consistently. So a lot of them now, have had to pick up side jobs next to being legislators. Which, I mean, this is kind of cool, right? I mean, he's like a hip young millennial kind of aspect, kind of a thing that might appeal to some certain voters, but something tells me he should be focusing on the public good, which is his original job that we got him elected for, if I'm not mistaken, instead of, trying to get Becky to, Coldplay karaoke in Lakeview, where she can get a summer shandy. I don't know Becky personally, but this is what I typically find in the Ubers, is that they're named Becky and they're going to sing Coldplay. I have statistics. Hit me up. I will show you the numbers. Something else that struck me about this article. Currently, his rating is at a 4.8. A 4.8. I am taking it upon myself to ask my viewers, if I have any yet, because it's the first one, we need to get this guy up to a 5, okay? He's taking it upon himself as a legislator to drive for Uber. He needs to have a 5.0, okay? Uncle Sam is rooting for this guy, and so should we. That's all I'm going to say. Next article, also from the Chicago Tribune, Rauner vetoes automatic voter registration bill. So we have this guy on my talk show, Good Evening with Pat Whalen. His name is Rod Joy. He runs Change Illinois. He basically talked to me a lot about this AVR, automatic voter registration, and I gotta say, it kind of seems like a no-brainer to me. Governor Bruce Rauner vetoed an automatic voter registration bill on Friday, noting that the bill needs changes to comply with federal law and prevent against voter fraud. It wasn't sent to him on Friday. Let me clarify that. The bill was sent to Rauner in June after passing both houses of the General Assembly before the end of the spring legislative session. The bill garnered strong bipartisan support in both the House and Senate. But the governor was like, they don't know what they're talking about. Big red X. I think that's what he does. I don't know how to veto anything. Under the legislation, people would automatically register to vote by seeking out state services, like getting a new or updated driver's license. So if you went to Illinois and you got a new driver's license, they'd be like, okay, so you passed your driver's test, boom. Also, here's your voter registration card. You don't have to jump through an extra hoop to get that done. Easy peasy. We're trying to make it easier for people to vote, not harder, because every voice needs to be heard. That's what I read in the paper, at least. I don't necessarily agree with that. Not a journalist. In his veto message to fellow lawmakers, the governor recognized the bill's worthy but ambitious goal. Worthy but ambitious. I don't like that. But voiced serious concerns about the implementation. Rauner noted that the Illinois State Board of Elections, Secretary of State, and others have raised similar concerns. I'm not sure what those concerns are exactly, but please tune in here later this week where I'm going to be having a Facebook Live chat with Roger at Change Illinois to talk about what the opposition is to this automatic voter registration, because I can't really find any reason not to do it, I'll be honest with you. Quote from Governor Rauner, I strongly support efforts to encourage greater voter participation in our democracy and share the goals of this legislation. Unfortunately, as currently drafted, the bill would inadvertently open the door to voter fraud and run afoul of federal election law. I love running afoul. It is my favorite way to run. However, some people are not really pleased with Governor Rauner for vetoing this bill. Cook County Clerk David Orr also voiced disappointment, claiming Rauner's veto condemned 700,000 hardworking Illinoisans to another unnecessary interaction with government. Not a fan of interaction with government. Gives me hives. I have a prescription for that. And it's more cowbell. I'm sorry for the dated reference. This is my first one. I'm just trying to get into the mix here. So the Illinois budget is screwy, and people did not like Governor Rauner for that. He just vetoed this automatic voter registration business, right? He's losing Republican friends in the Senate. His support is eroding, basically, to use a $5 word, pardon me. How bad is it for Governor Rauner? How many friends is he losing? How badly does he need more support? Here is an article from WBEZ, my local NPR affiliate. Shout out to WBEZ, big fan. Becky Vivi, Sarah Karp, Ira Glass, kind of. I mean, he's gone kind of Hollywood on us, but, he's a hometown boy for sure, even though he's from Baltimore. Whatever. This article from WBEZ says, the Attorney General of Illinois says Illinois did not breach contracts by not paying social service agencies during the budget impasse. What does that mean? Well, nearly 100 social service agencies are suing the state of Illinois for payment in one big lawsuit. Those agencies contracted with the state to provide care for the elderly, victims of sexual assault, and people with mental illnesses, so really vital services, right? One of those organizations suing the state? This is what I'm talking about. How badly does Governor Rauner need allies right now? Well, one of those organizations suing the state, called Ounce of Prevention, which advocates for early childhood education services for low-income children, is run by Diana Rauner, who is married to Governor Bruce Rauner. Ooh, man, to be a fly on the wall. Am I right? It's not good, man. He doesn't have a lot of allies right now. He's not doing very well. The money from the stopgap budget is expected to last through December. So I went to my boy Evan Cobble-Johnson at Inspiration Corporation and I said, Evan, this is good. They're throwing you some bucks. That's okay, right? And he was like, no. We can either spend that money, half as much as we need, to provide half as many services as we normally do, or we can hire back all the people we had to lay off because we had no money to begin with. But are they going to come work for you again if they know you're just going to run out of money to pay them in December again? Probably not. So this is an ongoing situation, man. There's a lot of stuff happening. I know because I had to scour newspapers and things to find this info. If only there was some daily video that would like digest these stories for me and like aggregate this information so that I'd be able to process. Oh shit, that's what I'm doing. That's what this is. I'm Pat Whalen. This is yesterday's news. This has been Monday, August 15th, and come back tomorrow when I'm talk about today. That's kind of catchy. I kind of like that. Peace.